Hello and welcome to KennyRoy.com. I'm Kenny Roy. This is the Ask Videomail for the week of December 8th, 2014. Welcome to the site to you new members, and welcome back to the old members. The Ask Videomail is your chance to get your question in character animation or performance answered in a video just like this one, but I need your question if I'm going to answer it, so please send it to webmaster@KennyRoy.com. I go through all the questions and I answer the ones that I think will help the most people. There's no such thing as a dumb question, and it is the best way to get the most out of the site. Yes! Yes! Okay, so I apologize if I'm speaking loudly. I'm trying not to overcompensate. I ran another Spartan race yesterday, and I've got the like fluid in my ear. I can't hear how loud my voice is, and I'm trying not to speak too softly, but I might be speaking too loudly. So I apologize. I'm sorry if I'm screaming. It's a great day. It is a great day. We are fully into December, last month of the year. Cannot believe that 2014 is almost over. It's going to be 2015. I can't believe it's going to be 2015. I feel like I'm just getting warmed up. I'm still writing 1997 on my checks. I'm kidding. I've been saying that joke for 10 years now. Anyway, so yeah, I'm like I said. No interruption to the content here on KennyRoy.com. We're just going to keep on going as if nothing's happening. So don't worry. The show must go on. So without further ado, let's check out this week's question. And it's a goodie. Check it out. Oh man, where were we going just now with all those overlays? All right, sorry, hit the wrong button. We're back, and that's a great question, Wojtek. Thank you for sending that one in. This was a big mystery to me before I got my first job, and I thought to myself, how am I ever going to work this in together? And I realized very quickly once I got my first job that a lot of the workflow choices that you're going to end up making on a project are going to come down to some things that are standardized among all the animators. So for instance, my very first character animation job, we should say, I was working on this, it was a short film, and there were insects. Oh, excuse me. And there were so many. There was so much work to do. We were like at 30 seconds a week. And the insects, they had 2 legs and 4 arms. Okay? So they were sort of the opposite of the bugs and ants. And I think Bugs Life, yeah, they just had 2 legs and 2 arms. So Bugs Life, they didn't even care. They didn't even care that they didn't have six legs, which I thought was like a really strong choice, honestly. But at any rate, so what was I going with this? Anyway, so we had 4 arms, and so I'm going to tie this into a stylistic choice that we made recently, and I think you'll see how this ties together. Anyway, so there was so much work to do that we ended up having to sort of make workflow decisions that basically were based on getting the amount of work we had to do done. Like we almost had no other choice than to do certain things all the same way. One of those things that we did that was all the same way was we kind of decided these characters basically can do 1 pose change per shot, and then the lip sync workflow that I was doing was open, close, narrow, wide, and that was it. Okay, and that got us about 85% there. And that's the lip sync workflow that I teach on KennyRoy.com is the open, close, narrow, wide. Anyway, so what did that end up doing? Well, what it made it so that we could do was we kind of standardized everything, because you'd look at your shot and you'd say, what has to go on here? Okay, well, this is where the bug realizes that he's not going to be included, and he was, sort of like talking to people over here in the shot before, and then he's going to get pissed off. So we'd do something, it might look a little cliche when I do it right now, but we'd be like, kind of like upset or pissed like that. Anyway, so we'd end up doing that, and then it just became a matter of making it so that we all found a middle ground in terms of like how each character moved. So one character might have, pardon me, I'm sorry, I'm not actually tired. It's just the sort of like energy on. There's one character might have a very long anticipation, which again is a stylistic choice, and these choices will be described to you as you start to work on a project. It's not as if you are left completely to your own devices to make these choices, and you're going to be left, kind of like to almost like mysteriously come up with all these things. One character's style might be to do the arms up and land on this turned pose. Another's might be to turn and big anticipation and then land like that. And as more work gets done, and as your director is directing things, it's very simple and easy, really, to look at a piece of animation and say, that's not really what that character is that's not really fitting in with what we've decided and what we've been doing. It's very, very easy, and it's like sort of like directing 101. So if you don't have a director that's paying attention, you kind of get into a little bit of trouble, because things can kind of go astray. But the main point that I was trying to make was many other things other than thinking entirely and only focused on how a character is supposed to move, and how it relates to every other shot and all that stuff affect how the character is going to move. Many different things. Your quota, the rig, the direction from your director or supervisor, and workflow choices that have to be made in order to just get it done. That might sound a little unromantic, but I've decided recently to just completely forget about, just stop trying to please, animation purists who are perhaps, not getting, not feeling like they're getting, representation in what we're doing. I've just had to stop it, because I feel like we're on such a verge. I feel like the third generation of animators that are going to be trained, either training themselves or training online, are coming up now. And if we don't really quickly apply what we've learned to the education model, I don't think any of them are going to get any work. I just do not, because the lie is kind of being perpetrated by everyone in the industry right now, and perpetuated. Perpetrated and perpetuated, about the lack of a need for an efficient workflow. And it's really doing a disservice to all these people who are coming up now. So anyway, I don't want to digress too much right now, but I just will say that there's so many factors that go into how your animation is literally, like on a day-to-day basis, going to be created, that worrying about even before you get the job, how am I going to animate one character so that it looks the same as, another animator's shots, is you shouldn't worry about that, because it's going to come down to a lot of workflow choices. And I don't know. I just think that we need to always. Everyone should continue sending in questions, and I really appreciate the questions. Look through your question from a sort of like through the filter of workflow, and see if you can kind of intuit the answer that way. And I'm here, and I'm ready to answer more questions like this. We can, sort of continue that conversation together. I like talking about this. I like moving the conversation forward together. And these video mails should be a chance for everybody on the site to kind of develop a bigger, deeper understanding of all this stuff together. So let's do that. But anyway, to bring it all the way back, don't worry too much about learning how to animate one character, because it's like 80% like how the work is getting done, and only like 20% making sure, like, going back and looking and paying attention to and watching previous shots and hooking up and talking with animators and talking with your supervisor to make one character feel like they are, animated by the same person. And I'll say this as well. We have a lot of the work taken off of our shoulders because we work with 3D models. Drawing it on model was half the battle back in the days of 2D. Okay, and the fact that one animator will take like one shot and then another animator, and that they're all mashed together, the shots playing and going by so fast, it's almost the collage effect. And I've never seen a collage that I don't like. Honestly, you can tell somebody to make a collage from a magazine, and they almost all look exactly the same. I've never seen a collage I don't like, and it's kind of the collage effect when you have animators. So we can kind of depend on that. But that was a great question. Thank you for sending that in. Remember, you guys, that's the address to send it to. I give you 2 free Ds on the site. Every single question you send in, doesn't matter how many you send in, you can just earn free time here on your subscription. And I love seeing that stuff. Okay. I will see you again next week. Show will go on, and we'll finish out the year strong together. I'm Kenny Roy. This has been a blast. Good luck with your animation. As always, rock on.